Good morning, Sydney. My name is Holly. I'm a public interest researcher. I've written two papers, two publications or things published this year. What's Wrong, which is modern governance through the art of war as a lens, and institutional industrial complex in Australia. Now, the reason why I wrote a lot of this was because I became aware, I've always known that there was something very wrong. I was constantly targeted, right? But I just assumed it was my twisted ex-husband, etc., until recently, when I discovered that actually I was a targeted individual, and the reason I was a targeted individual was because I had had two inheritances stolen from me. Both my blood family and people that I know, including the husband and the ex-boyfriend, whatever, all involved, right? What's interesting about this story is that actually the informer network that is associated to the Crime Commission is actually what is doing the gang stalking. So one needs to question why I'm being bullied when there's development interests at play, and on top of that, I had to lodge a complaint to the City Council, City of Sydney, and Mr. Minns, because I went to apply for public grant money and I wasn't even allowed to log in, no due process. And the reason for this, sorry, I'm tired and I've got itchy eyes. Anyway, the reason for this, it turned out after we've now had the matter investigated, I've unearthed significant corruption. I've also unearthed serious and criminal behaviour, which involves energy harvesting from good souls who work hard through the use of technology, through now, the government has chosen not really to engage with me. It's left me and my children actually very unsafe, and there are threats that they know about of hit people wanting to kill me and me, which I already had that through the targeted individual program, right? So the problem with this is that government, they needed to investigate at a much higher level. They did that. What they were doing is doing about their investigation with 6 judges apparently retired in the last, since March, I think, right? 6 judges, they were all stood down, they were all corrupt. There are multiple, like tens and tens of police. There are also public servants, child protection workers. This is a framework that is being used. I am assuming the primary participants and benefactors are the Freemasons and the Empire, because my second inheritance that was diddled was actually one of great significance and of serious wealth, and it's also something that would disrupt the current position of how we see our world in terms of empire and power. So, as we know in our world, many things we have been lied about and many things that we are taught about our history are not correct. So, where I'm at now is that actually what I'm seeing is this is spiritual warfare, and it's devil mentality, which is what the elite and privileged networks have. They need for us to be low vibration and controlled in order for them to harvest, use black magic, sacrifice children, animals, communities, high net worth individuals. COVID saw the death of a lot of our older population. I believe that actually the empire is stealing our wealth. Chapter 1 of What's Wrong? The robbery. So, look, I don't know where we go from here. I actually think that between myself and our Indigenous or First Nations people, we have a significant potential for a legal case to challenge the governance of this country and how it is structured, the frameworks in which we operate, because actually things like the Anglican Church Property Trust Acts, which see the empire get extremely wealthy while we're all struggling with the cost of living, can't afford houses, while development means that actually places where we all live that hold our history, that are about our family and community legacies, are owned and continually redeveloped, corrupted for money that we don't need to spend, and that is actually reproducing harm. All right? The services in this country are built for those who deliver them, not those that receive them, and the taxpayer is footing the bill for the corruption.